Hey guys, in this video I'm going to show you how to do the clean or the power clean, and it's one of the most favorite movements that we do in the gym, and I just wanted to highlight and show you very slowly with a stick how you need to perform the clean so that we can get the best out of your lifts. Now first up, your lift, majority of it should start from your mid-shin position. Okay, so mid-shin will be right up here. If you have Olympic plates on by the side, your bar would start on the mid-shin position. Now, your setup of that of your feet, it needs to be in line with your hips. Okay, so that's where you stand first. That's your distance of your feet. It should be underneath your hips, and then where you grab onto the bar, it's going to be just outside of shoulders, because if the bar gets received and if you pull the bar up into your receiving position, you don't want it to be too close, because if it's too close, just by the side, it ends up a little bit squashed in here. So you got to make sure that it's a little bit outside of your shoulder. One really good indicator of this is to look at the knurling on the bar. Make sure that you're about a thumb's distance away from it, or a thumb's distance away from your quads. Okay, this is a really good indicator for it. And then after that, we'll talk about how comfortable you feel in the rack afterwards. Now, as you are about to lift, your setup position will be very similar to a deadlift. So you're going to be slightly forwards. In here, my shoulders are slightly forwards. You'll see knees, hips, shoulders, which will be a triangle. You don't want to be sitting down too low into it. You don't want to be too high into it either. It needs to have your shoulders, your hips, and then your knees in that position in there. Okay. If you sit too low into it, you're going to be very quad dominant. That's going to be firing too much. Your hamstrings will not be on. You need to lift the hips up just a little bit to create a little bit of tension in through here, because we'll be utilizing that hip pull and that posterior chain to actually lift that bar up nice and high. Now, the first part of the lift is the first pull, and this means bringing the bar off the floor. And when you're bringing the bar off the floor, you need to make sure that you do not yank it off the floor. You need to still make sure you are creating a whole heap of tension in here, core tension. I've got a video on how to keep your core engaged. Please look back into the list of videos that I've actually created before on how to keep that core nice and tight. That core needs to be super tight in here. And then it is the first pull. You're pushing the floor away. You're driving the heels of the foot into the floor. You're trying to maintain a really neutral alignment in your spine so that you can bring that barbell off the floor up to your knees. That's the first pull from here to there. Okay? Try to maintain a tight posture and a tight neutral posture for this movement here. Once you reach knees, this is where you extend powerfully. You're going to engage through your hamstrings and your glutes to actually extend out the hips. You extended the hips and extended the knees maximally, forcefully, with a lot of aggression as well. Okay? And that's where you finish that second part of the lift, which is the second pull. And that's going to bring that barbell flying up into your rack. Okay, so that is from here to there. That's your extension from here. The power of the bar and the clean is from here, the knees, to here. All right, it's not from the floor. Make sure you are not yanking it off the floor. First pull to knees, extend out to here, and then you're going to feel lightness in the bar. From here, the barbell will rise up, and depending on how much pull you put into the bar, that bar is going to come up. And as the bar comes up to about this portion here, about to your height of your ribs, that's as far up as it's going to go, and you're going to try to catch that bar into your power clean position. Okay, and that's where you listen to the cue of, can you feel the bar? Can you See where the bar stops moving. When the bar stops coming up, accelerating upwards or downwards, it's not doing anything, and that's where you can transition to catch underneath it. Wherever what your footprint needs to be doing by now, as you're extending out into the shrug and into the high pull, you're going to jump out, you're going to catch into your front rack here, and you're going to stand up nice and tall. That is your power clean, extend, shrug, catch, and you want to stay light on your hips. When you're catching that bar, what that means is after that extension, that hips need to come back down again to catch. Because that bar is going to come down. And as the bar comes back down, you need to be ready with your legs to catch the bar and the weight in your hips. If you don't, that's a muscle clean. And what that's going to do, it's going to load your spinal column quite quickly and quite abruptly. And you don't really want to do that. You want to make sure that weight is bouncing and absorbed into your legs. Your legs are now the spring of your lift, and you want to make sure that you give the weight a little bit of space to move in your hips through your legs. And that's your power clean movement here. When you catch that bar, have a feel of whether or not that grip is right for you. If the grip is too close or very uncomfortable, chances are you need to work on the mobility of your rotator cuffs, mobility up through here. Sometimes also your tricep lats need to be stretched. Tight triceps and tight lats will cause you to be a little bit tighter in receiving position for your body. Okay, I hope that helps, guys, in helping you to understand the power clean. Alright guys, I hope that helps, and we'll see you in the next video.